Hey guys, Owen here from What is Love. Today I am in Santa Monica with 7 of my friends asking people, why is the divorce rate so high? Enjoy the video.
Why do you think the divorce rate is so high?
Men.
Why is the divorce rate so high?
I have no idea. I think I'm too young to answer that question. I don't know.
I think that because of social media and there's just so many options that are out there that nobody's really loyal. It's just too easy to cheat.
Once you have a kid, they think they have to stay together, but you're putting your kid through that. You guys argue all the time. You guys don't actually like each other, so yeah, that's how it is. Yeah.
I see a lot of kids jumping into a relationship. I mean, they need to really maybe date more and understand each other more, their ways. You know, they think it's all about hugging, kissing, and just hanging out. But no, there's a lot more to it.
Why do you think the divorce rate is so high?
What I've learned from being in a relationship long term is that you're always having to evolve with that person. Maybe the foundation wasn't strong in the first place. I do think generationally maybe people stayed in longer marriages back then for wrong reasons, but I also think people nowadays tend to get divorced maybe too quickly.
I do agree with her about growing apart, but I also think some people get bored.
Why is the divorce rate so high in your opinion?
I think that a lot of times people get married just because they have kids,
Right.
and they have kids because they think they have to. You don't have to.
There's just so much societal pressure to do whatever it is and to do things the right way. It's just hard to be in a long-term relationship.
The divorce rate is so high because I believe a lot of people are entitled now. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to push the person away, but we don't want to let go of what we feel. So know your limits, but also recognize that don't judge other people for their limits too.
Why do you think that the divorce rate is so high?
I think love is just not the same as it once was, like back in the 80s, back in the 90s, where they didn't have phones, they didn't have social media, everything was just genuine. You wrote letters to the girl, you walked her home, stuff like that.
Tom, why is the divorce rate so high?
I guess the real question is why is the marriage rate so high? Your wonderful city actually propagates us this image that, guys, this is how to live. You meet, you marry, you stay together forever and happily ever after. And this is a beautiful dream, but it is a Hollywood dream. Mm-hmm. You know, the whole model of marriage comes from the medieval ages, and it made a lot of sense back then. You know, you were living in a small town or a small village, and today with, you're a click away from meeting 20 different people, it's different. And, maybe that should be the role for some of the institutions leading our culture, like Hollywood, that, maybe come up with something better, because marriage apparently doesn't seem to be working in the days of, Tinder and all that.
Probably just falling out of love. I mean, you walk around and you see people that are more eventful and more active than the person you probably grew up with, and you see that after a while in life you realize you want other things. And
that's a hard one to answer, but I think a lot of it has to do with the way the world has grown, and I think people get complacent in their relationships, and you start searching for that puppy dog phase all over again, right? You should cherish that relationship that you've built with someone rather than finding that feeling in someone else.
No one wants to do the work. Our relationship is not perfect, but we work on it. And I think that's what's very important about us. We always tend to take a step back and work on who we are first, and then go forward with our actual relationship after that.
Just to add to what Calvin said, I would say accountability. Acknowledge your feelings and acknowledge your partner's feelings, and realize, hey, we're in this together. If I'm the problem, we need to work on what that problem is, and finding that common ground.
People are not accountable. And I think if you really love someone, you're never going to cheat on them. You won't even want to look at someone else. People don't take time to really invest in relationships these days. They just want to have fun and a good time, and relationships are more than that.
Why is the divorce rate so high, you think?
People don't know themselves, and that's not their fault. And then the other person goes, wow, you're nothing that I thought you were. And as long as it's amiable, I don't think the divorce rate should be made into a thing. We all make mistakes.
Right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. What is your answer to this question? Let us know in the comments below, and we will see you at the next video.